Well, thank you, Senator. And I want to thank Brian Mast. He chaired our transition committee on the environment and water resources, and they were able to provide me with a lot of good information. We had a lot of good folks on there. In fact, we have some of them here. I think Eric Eichenberg from Everglades was on that, and it worked really well. So we came out. Look, I said I wanted to take action. We didn't want to just talk. So our order today, involves funding. It involves, new, I think, endeavors in the agencies like this chief science officer that we're going to do, resiliency officer, so that we're focusing on these pressing problems. We're also going to do some reorganization so that we're more effectively protecting the environment. And so I think all that is very good. I think people are very excited about that. But we also want to make sure, that we have everybody in the boat rowing the same way. And one of the recommendations that Congressman Mast has provided to me was that we really needed to have a fresh start at the South Florida Water Management District. And so today, today I have sent correspondence to all the board members, thanking them for their service, but requesting their resignations because we do just need a fresh start so that we can move forward together, as Floridians united, because I think that these issues are things that really don't fall along party lines. These are things where people from all political persuasions understand the importance of our water resources to Florida's, beauty, our way of life, but also our economic future. And so hopefully we will be able to move forward there in addition to having the policy that we rolled out today. So I think it was a really good day, and what I wanted to do is come to Stuart, because I've been coming here really for years now, and I've been working with Brian in the Congress on the different projects. We're working on Lake Okeechobee with the Corps and all these things, and I've talked to the President about it. But I just wanted to make sure that I came to the community so people knew, that, yeah, the campaign's over. A lot of times politicians forget what they promised during the campaign. When I say things, I mean them, and so I'm coming here today to follow through with what I said I would do. And with that, we'd be happy to take a few questions if you guys have any. Yes? We're going to have to obviously make those decisions. I mean, Brian's advice I think will be very key for people that understand this area. I also told folks during the campaign in places like Southwest Florida, which had a really acute onset of red tide, that we were going to make sure we were getting people who understood what that meant, what the discharges meant in the Caloosahatchee that affected that coast. So we'll be doing that, and I think Senator Negron would have been great, but he's in a new job, so I understand that. But at the end of the day, these are going to be folks who understand where we're coming from and really understand, what the people of Florida would like to see. Yes.
You mentioned earlier this morning that you were also creating a new position at the state level focused on science. Do you envision that person working directly with a South Florida Water Management Board?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Of course, absolutely. We were just in Sarasota at Moat Marine, meeting with all these different scientists who are doing all this stuff to combat the red tide. And I think the vision for someone like that is to make sure that we're getting the best information, that we have the best science, so that you can apply good policy. And something like red tide, I mean, we know some things about, we don't know why it was so bad entirely. And so that's what they're trying to figure out. So I don't want to fall behind the curve, and I think that is somebody that is really going to be working with a variety of levels of government. Yes?
Can you tell me what your opinion is about the lease changes that happened after Governor Scott?
Well, it was, I can tell you this was during the gubernatorial transition, so after the election, I think it was November, December, sometime like that, and Brian calls me at like 8:30 at night. He's like, there's this meeting the next morning or something about this lease that could impact the reservoir. And I was like, so Brian went and said, look, can we just get a little look at this? So I don't know why it was handled that way. I think that really, really upset a lot of people. But I'm committed to having the reservoir move forward. So in my pronouncement today, we're instructing South Florida Water Management, move forward. And then we're going to get the federal government, the Army Corps is doing a study. It was supposed to be done, I think, next week. They're not going to do it next week, but I think we can get them on a decent timeline, at least relative to them. They move very slowly, so that the federal component is moving forward. But I think that reservoir is very important. We don't want to wait 10 years, to have that, and so we've really got to keep the pressure on at the front end. Yes?
You said you were going to hire or appoint scientists to the South Florida Water Management District for the governor. Are you still looking at scientists?
No, I didn't say for South Florida Water Management. What is, we're going to create a chief science officer. I'm not saying I wouldn't consider people, but that would not be a requirement. I think, they're like Joe was not a scientist, but I think he would have been good. Some of the other folks that have been mentioned. I think for the South Florida Water Management, I think it's really understanding the impact that some of the water problems have had on the communities and really being sensitive to that. And I think if you understand that and you understand where we're trying to go to make it better, then I think you can do it. You don't have to have a certain degree or that. I think I just want good people who are willing to do the right thing.
Governor, can we cease and desist putting human waste on property and lands, and it's happening to this day? Can you make a governor's order that absolutely says no more dumping of untreated human waste from Broward, Miami, Monroe County that's coming up here?
I don't know if I can do that. I just need to see what my authority is, and I'm familiar with the issue, but not enough to say that I can do that or not, because I'm just not sure.
Governor Scott needs a ton of last-minute appointments before he was in office. Some of those include SWC and environmental boards. Are you suggesting that you might appoint different people than who the governor recommended?
Well, I can announce today that for all the midnight appointments that require Senate confirmation, I'm going to be pulling them back. Now, some of the people that were in that batch are people that I know and respect, and you may see me reappoint some of them, but we're pulling all of them back. We're going to take a fresh look at it, and then we'll move forward from there.
Governor DeSantis, Congressman Mass, can't thank you enough for, as you know, Cabin Sprinkling Water, many other organizations have called for the resignation of the governing board due to our inability to get projects done. So thank you for your bold action there.
Great. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Governor.